Welcome to Moonbase 2.
Hello everybody and welcome to the Moonbase 2 podcast. My name's Andy, Corporate Commander TFW, and I'm joined this week by... let's have a look around. What having the unplugged USB cable himself. It's Mikey G. Wolfie 2 V3. Hello Mikey, how's it going?
Hello, I am just looking at the price of PlayArts Kai Remake Cloud Strife without having to buy all the extra stuff for getting the Super Special Edition.
I was going to say, I thought that was an exclusive to that set. It's not?
There's a version without the bike.
Oh, well, I mean, that's Optimus Prime without the trailer, right?
Hey, Andy.
Hey, Mikey.
Don't play that game.
It
Turns out, it's way the fuck cheaper just to buy the special edition with the bike.
Oh, really?
I'm seeing him up here on eBay for between $250 and $350.
Are these pre-order prices, or are these like secondary market kind of prices?
I think these are pre-order, but like it's this is just like eBay,
that can't
so
be true.
It's eBay second, any eBay price. Because eBay was doing like figure arts pre-orders for like $100 sometimes.
Ooh, damn, bitch!
Like, but I can buy it everywhere else for
$40,
much cheaper.
Something. Yeah,
much cheaper. How are you, Andy?
I'm fine. I'm not too bad.
Tell me
I'm not enthused as you are clearly for Final Fantasy VII remake.
We will talk.
We will. That'll be on the agenda for later on. The agenda. But we're going to be talking about Transformers this week, as we usually do. There's a few little nipples to tweak and milk.
It's when you say, as we usually do, and I just think, didn't we spend like half an hour talking Picard? That a show we haven't seen.
Yes, but we also started talking a lot about Star Trek in general, and that's stuff we have seen. And that's arguably better than Picard. I would say it's not arguably better than Picard. It's factually better than Picard. But
I will hold out until I've seen it before I make a judgment, but I am prejudiced.
I'm not going to watch it. I'm going to just make my judgments and not watch it, because I saw Discovery, and that's enough.
People tell me are still telling me I should watch Discovery Season 2, and I'm just like, you don't get how much I dislike Michael, do you?
Are these people your friends? Are these people who want you to be in pain?
Then I saw a review of Season 2.
Is it Jason? Is Jason telling you to do it because he hates you?
Jason just hates. Jason loves the wrong things. He just does. But I saw a review of Season 2 which said it's a big improvement over Season 1. However, I could sum it up in one sentence. It's not as smart as it thinks it is.
I didn't hear it was better. I heard it started off okay, and it was okay, and then it got really fucking stupid.
Oh, wonderful.
It got really fucking dumb.
They get Klingon's hair again.
Yeah, even though they just look like terrible fucking wigs.
On very badly designed faces.
Yes.
The most generic IR and alien space face.
Yes, exactly. But never mind. Transformers, Mikey. Here we are. We're going to start off with crappy news, because that's how we do. Transformers chocolate chip cookies found at TJ Maxx. Don't that sound tasty, Mikey?
Fully licensed TJ Maxx. Probably about to go out a date in 10 minutes. Chocolate chip.
Yeah. They're made in the USA. It says proudly on the box. They're $2.99. And they're rocking the evergreen artwork, because that's the generic kind of tat brand imagery that Transformers goes for these days, unfortunately. Which I don't like, because the evergreen designs are not the best, but they're better than just kind of slapping on any old shit. And that seems to be what the evergreen designs exist for now. They're there to be pasted on everything. What makes these Transformer chocolate chip cookies? Nothing. They're not even like in the shape of Optimus Prime or Bumblebee's face. I don't even mean like the details. I just mean the generic shape of the face. There's not a Decepticon logo shape. Again, doesn't need the detail imprinted on it. Just a silhouette would do, or the Autobot insignia one. Nah, these are just round cookies, round chocolate chip cookies, Mikey. That's it.
Yeah, but
$2.99. Yeah, Mikey. What's up?
They've got Transformers on them.
Transformers?
Transformers.
What are Transformers?
It's the spin-off for Fortnite.
Oh, okay. I thought you were just gonna say like that's the knockoff, cheapy, terrible version that they license out to products they
Lot
hate.
of dabbing.
Oh no, no dabbing.
All dabbing.
Actually, I would be okay with seeing a video of you dab because that would tickle me. I think.
Why? Because it would just be like the most shamed, disdainful. Like I have dabbed. I've been asked to dab when I've gone into schools. I've also been
By
asked to
who?
leave
What? By
children.
the kids?
And there's a
Oh,
dab,
God.
and I think I spent like 10 minutes going like, "You see, children, I do not dab." And I'm just like, "Why don't you dab?" Because it is shameful. Why is it shameful? My people tell me it is shameful.
Why did the children want you dabbing?
I don't
were
know.
they not happy enough
just
with
went
you
to-
talking about dinosaurs?
They just dabbed at me and seemed to expect I would dab in response. And I felt like I was like in some weird cultural exchange where I'm in the middle of some other world, and I'm just like, I am making first contact with an alien species.
I was going to say
not how to communicate.
Technically, in that situation, you were being incredibly rude because if that's a cultural greeting, then you refuse to reciprocate.
Yeah, but like, remember that episode of Voyager with those aliens that every time they say something, they move?
No,
It's
actually.
the one with the giant macrophages, the big diseases. And Janeway's like, gung-ho I.R. Ripley. And she like crosses her arms and they're like,
yeah.
"You have insulted my mother."
That's
Like,
right.
You know what I do in those situations? Go around with my arms fully folded.
Oh, no.
Walking into their shops, walking into their bars. Like,
This is why you wouldn't be in Starfleet, because you'd just be there to piss off people deliberately.
listen, if you're not going to accept the fact that you're a weird culture and you're in the minority and need to accommodate other people, not the other way around. That sounded really, really racist. Wasn't meant to be. Came out better in my head.
It's meant to be a joke. It's a joke.
That sounded like, oh god, that really did sound like I was about to follow it up with "Go back where you came." Don't go back where you came. You make life better. Not you specifically. You make my life tedious. But
thank you. I try. But no, cookies, Mikey.
Yes,
they exist.
Do you know if Cookie Monster got funded, you could have bought a $250, $300 Cookie Monster to eat these with?
No, it wasn't that. Didn't Unicron kill Cookie Monster? Was it? Yeah, no, I thought that was the case.
So Transformers ruined Cookie Monster as well, just so you know.
Yeah. I would be interested if somebody does have these cookies. We need photographic evidence as well of you with the cookie bag.
I'd like photographic evidence of you an hour after eating them.
Yes, yeah, that'd be interesting. Let us know the taste, the texture, the quality of the cookie.
The sensation.
Yeah, the sensation that it gives you. Does it give you a high or not? Also, because we may as well talk about these. I mean, this is debatable whether you consider this crappy or not. I've put it in the crappy corner.
I just, I just don't think this is ever anything I personally super indulge in. Although I will. Anyway, go on. I'll finish up in a sec.
These are the Han Cholo designs for the Transformers C2E2 2020 exclusive earrings and pin designs. So we have Optimus Prime studded earrings, made to order apparently, with dead hollow eyes for your Optimus Prime corpses to hang off your earlobes, I suppose. There's also a Hot Rod enamel pin. I mean, that's a lot of forehead on him there.
Yeah, I'm not digging the pins in this case.
No, he's got way too much forehead.
They look cheap.
Yeah, and then the last one is a Soundwave cassette player enameled pin. I mean, that looks okay, I guess.
I like it better.
It's better, yeah. It's better than the weird giant-headed cone head. It's a cone head hot rod. What do you think of these, Mikey? So you're not a fan of the hot rod, clearly.
Not really, no. Soundwave is fine, and Optimus does look like he's killed before. But what got me interested in these is I clicked through to see what else was up, because these are for C2E2. So I just had a look. I wanted to see the prices. So the Optimus studs, they're $70.
Oh, how big are they?
Well, they're earring studs, so they're going to be not huge.
Not big, right? Are they made of gold or something?
These ones look like silver, but that could just be... It could be gold-plated silver.
Yeah, right.
The Hot Rod and Soundwave, they're $12 each.
Okay.
But there's also on here are a bunch of Power Ranger stuff.
Right.
So you've got a Green Ranger and Red Ranger Power Bead bracelet, which is like just a red bracelet and a green bracelet with a coin in the middle.
Is that cool?
It's okay. What actually I think is way the fuck better is the enamel pins for the red and the green Ranger, because it's got Mighty Morphin, obviously. It's got a profile of the Ranger, and then it's got a profile of the Zord head.
Oh, okay.
And I really like that. And it's the Rex and the Dragon Zord, so the two best ones.
Yes.
It's also got a Dragon Dagger pendant for $50.
$50.
$50. There's also another Dragon Dagger pendant for $175.
God damn.
Then there's a Green Ranger ring, which is not green, for $300.
What color is it if it's not green?
Silver.
Oh.
But the best thing is there is a Lord Zed ring with painted brain.
Oh, that's cool.
For $300.
That's not so cool. I take it back.
But that is the best. I want to meet the guy. One, I would get the Ranger pins because I actually like that. I like the design. I wouldn't pin them on anything, but I don't pin my Stangate pin on anything. I just have it sitting there, taunting me. Else I conquer. I want to meet the guy who's bought the Lord Zed ring and wears it all the time.
Oh yeah,
because that's the guy I want to shake the hand of. or the lady, shake the hand. Whoever's wearing it, your hands will be shaken because, my God, that is both incredibly tacky and incredibly cool in a way.
Sure, yeah, definitely. So these things are expensive, but it sounds like the Power Rangers stuff is a bit more robust and interesting than the Transformers stuff. Is that fair to say?
I think so.
Yeah. I mean, these aren't for me, which is why I put them in the crappy corner. But there you go. Mikey, tell me of some bananas and some forcing.
So yes, Bananas in Pajamas are back with us.
Yay!
So Banana Force previously did a RID Optimus Prime non-transforming action figure, which was had a G1 mode and RID mode. So next up there is God Armor MPL02, which is their God Magnus or Ultra Magnus, depending on your point of view, from RID or Car Robots. This is a highly stylized version of what I have to admit was never a design I liked on any level. Basically, you liked it because it became Omega Prime, and this guy also can split up and fuse with the previous figure to become Omega Prime. But this guy really looks like he breaks down to combine with another robot. He's very, very chunky. And not in the way that's kind of like anime chunky cool. This is kind of like, I'm a walking accessory chunky. Which, like, I don't mind the combination thing. I'm quite into that, but it's a shame when I thought their first figure turned out so well, this guy just looks like he's suffering for the gimmick.
Well, I suppose you could say that Ultra Magnus back in RID did as well. So I suppose he's living up to his namesake.
True.
I'm not sure that's a great excuse, though, granted, because you're paying third-party prices on it, but I get why it is.
I would just be more into this as a standalone action figure and then fix the proportions than I would in a... I don't need the combining gimmick. I'd much rather, like, okay, now we're doing Scourge and now we're doing Skybite or something like that.
I think people who get an Ultra Magnus want him to combine with Prime for the Omega Prime mode, though.
Yeah, but I also feel those people are buying transforming ones.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, but we don't see the Omega Prime.
No, we see a back shot of him.
Yeah. What do you think, Andy, of this figure?
Yeah. So are these CG renders, or is this a proper toy?
They look like renders to me.
Yeah, that's what I thought as well. We saw the uncolored versions. These are the colored versions. I will say that having him with red shoulder pads is a weird throw off. I expect it's there for some part of the Omega Prime mode, but those shoulder pads clearly do not fit with this Ultra Magnus.
I'm assuming they are Omega's shoulder pads, to be honest, and they're just sort of like, we needed to put them somewhere.
Probably, yeah. Oh, there's something. Maybe the back of the heels. Yeah, you're probably right with the whole shoulder pads. So I'm thinking, yeah, I think you are right. Looking at the one rear shot of Omega we have, yeah, like we've said before, the arms, the forearms are massive. The giant cannons are okay, and the wings are very, very big. It's fine. It's almost more Diaclone-y for some reason to my eyes than it is Transformer-y.
Yeah.
But I couldn't like if a proper Diaclone fan said I was a fool and I didn't know what I was talking about, I would say from a casual perspective, it has that aesthetic to me. But it's still not for me. It's not tickling the right things. But maybe again, it's because it's not like, hey, do the Predacons, the fun guys, do Skybite, do Gas Skunk.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh God, yes, please.
No one gives those three their dues.
No, and they were great, and also those were cool ass designs. Like,
yeah, I mean they were from fucking Beast Wars.
Yeah, Transmetal Toys had some of the best designs in Beast Wars. I'm just saying it now.
Oh yeah.
Especially Transmetal 2.
Yes. They missed out on a trick though. They never used, was it Scourge? You know, the little
Yeah.
Yeah, no, was it a Scarabeo? No, a mosquito. Wasn't it a mosquito?
No. He was a scarab or something like that. He wasn't a mosquito. Was Transketo.
Yeah, no, it wasn't him I meant, but it's the one that was red, blue, and green. I think it was something like that. He was a really good design.
Oh, I don't know. Like, I'd like to see Jawbreaker if I was seeing a Transmetal 2 design redone.
Where's Battle Unicorn?
Oh my God, where is Battle Unicorn?
Third-party Battle Unicorn. Oddly enough, one of the better Beast Machines figures, and that did not have many good figures, unfortunately.
That was an experimental line where they really should have stopped experimenting.
It was a super experimental line. Super experimental. But yeah, there we go. Shall I take us on, Mikey?
Please do.
Transformers, Mikey, the manga, volume 2. We have a cover reveal, and we also have a pricing listing via Amazon, assuming this is .com. Yes, it is. The price for volume 2 will be $24.99, due for release on May the 12th, so that's still a while off. And volume 1 is due out now. Well, it should be out now, actually, and it was for the same price. I'm not going to tell you what's on this cover because who cares, but it's kind of an update just to let you know of how much it's going to be and let you know when it's coming out, as well as we have information again via Amazon on the manga volume 3, once again by Viz Media. So this will be another hardcover edition 375-page volume. It will be released on October the 13th. Jesus, that's a long way off, but not really. Here's a little small product description, because why not? The final volume of the Transformers The Manga is here. The deluxe volume collects 3 classic story arcs from Murasami Kaneda and Ban. It's not the Ban I'm thinking of, though. Megami. He's not a police cop from Sentai. Along with the
not a
beautiful...
police cop.
No, not a police cop. Along with the beautiful art of rare illustrations, in quotations it says, "Victory is the tale of the legendary battle between Starsaber and Deathsaurus in Zone. The 9 great generals go into battle against the Autobots and Starsaber, and in Battlestars, Super Megatron attempts to feed on planet Earth, but a certain transformed Autobot hero rises... Oh, fuck's sake, it's Optimus Prime, isn't it? Rises to protect us all. These stories cannot be missed." It's an Optimus Prime of some description. I mean, of course it is. It's Super Megatron versus... Yeah, it will be Star Convoy. Of course it will be. I'm an idiot, yeah. Because he was the guy... He was Super Megatron's counterpart, wasn't he? Yeah.
And then there's Ultra Megatron.
Oh, yeah. Wow. They got lazy with the naming.
I really hope they keep doing this for the rest of the mangas, because there's quite a lot that's never been officially released here.
But it's weird because it sounds like they are picking what they consider to be the best stories rather than here's the run.
The thing is, this is a run. What they've done is the complete Japanese Generation 1 80s timeline. Which gets kind of weird once you hit Zone and Battlestars, because technically they are both the culmination of the Japanese manga timeline and the Japanese cartoon timeline, which are very different.
No, yeah, that's true. I mean, you could argue it gets weird with Victory, with sisters and wives. Yeah,
I was going to say, describing Victory manga as a tale of a legendary battle when all anyone thinks of, oh yeah, Deathsaurus, the Dino Force, their whole family, Dino babies, baby Starsaber having a fight with baby Deathsaurus. Lot of adoption.
I'm just gonna say this, Mikey, and you can say like I'm being irrational, but if that isn't in this in Volume 3, it's not worth having. Is that irrational? Is that me being crazy?
I think if all of the weirdness that was that manga is not included in this, if they've trimmed it down to make it more sensible, they have failed.
Yeah, they don't understand the aesthetic of the Japanese manga or the Japanese in general, because the weird stuff is the fun stuff. I would argue.
But I hope it does well, because I would like to see follow-ups of the other mangas, and even up to and including Kiss Players.
Even including Alternity.
Alternity wasn't bad.
Oh no, I'm not saying because it's bad. I'm just saying because it's fucking nuts. Like that's where the nuts. That's when the nuts get thrown to the window, and they go, "Eh? You think we can't go crazier? Fuck you. Yeah, we can. Challenge accepted."
You ain't seen nothing yet, bitch.
Pretty much. Yeah. Is your hope for this to continue so that one day we get the legend stuff?
Oh God, yes.
Yeah. I wondered if that was the pure reason, because that's my pure reason for this.
God, yeah, I would buy the feck out of a hardcover copy of that.
Same. Fuck yeah.
And then I'd buy more to make sure they made more, and just like go to Sakamoto's house and say, "Please make us more manga."
See, I think in essence what you're saying is true, but I think in reality you're a liar. You wouldn't buy more than one because of money.
I would sell you and buy more.
I'm not worth much. You keep telling me this.
Volume of manga.
I don't think. No, I am not gonna say I am worth $25. I say I'm worth less than that. Come on now. You've always told me this, Mikey. I want you to tell me about Bimblebee.
Bimblebee, yes. Surprisingly, we're talking about Bimblebee in this.
Yes.
Transformers Cyberverse, out of fucking nowhere, is airing season 3. As we're recording this, tomorrow.
This has been a bit of a stealth release, right? Because when was the last time we had any news on Cyberverse?
None. Like midway through season 2.
Yeah. Woof.
They were talking about the deluxe figures, and that's it. So season 3, it's going to be 26 episodes, and it is going to air from the 17th to 21st. They're going to air almost every episode.
Oh wow.
Which presumably a few episodes will pass over into the next week, but yeah, most of the show will basically by next week you will have seen season 3 of Cyberverse if you want. Also, there has been a rebranding. This is now called a trailer came out, which gave kind of an overview. It was fairly generic, but it's got some new characters in there, worlds in there. The internet is freaking the fuck out.
Of course.
New characters: Thunderhowl, Iaconus. We're going to talk about a few of them in a minute. And general tone seems to be building on season 2 while refocusing on Bumblebee and establishing his potential as a leader, which I don't mind. I am a little weirded out by the fact the series has been renamed Transformers Bumblebee Cyberverse Adventures.
I mean, it's accurate. It is more about Bumblebee than it has been anything else. Well, apart from where I left off.
What about season 1? Why wasn't that called Transformers Bumblebee?
I mean that's
the Bumblebee show.
That's what it should have been called from the start, because it was all. It seems like it's always been about Bumblebee primarily.
Yeah.
Granted, I didn't finish season 2.
Season 2 is mostly about Optimus, to be honest.
Is it? Okay.
It's Bumblebee's kind of background for a lot of it. He's got standout episodes, but only in the context really of him, Hot Rod, and Cheetor hanging out.
Okay.
I don't know. This just feels like weird after the fact branding that might have followed on from the fact that Bumblebee did better than they thought, and they're like, shit, we need to brand this in a way the kids. Bumblebee, put Bumblebee on the name, quick. I don't know. Like, I'm assuming it won't make much of a difference to the tone of the show. No. But it's just very strange to me. But I enjoyed season 2 and I enjoyed season 1. They're not a perfect show and it suffers from time, but I think they're really working what they've got, and I would like to see this creative team on a proper full-length show. So I will be watching this during the week. I have the old Pop TV streaming app, which I never use, but I've got it. So I will probably check this out. We've got a full list of episodes. Some synopses are out there as well. I will not be going through them.
no
it's
point.
26 episodes. There are the few names in there like that make you think that there's going to be references to classic episodes, but we'll see.
What do you mean by classic episodes? Do you mean classic episodes of the G1 show, Beast Wars? What do you mean by that?
A bit of everything, but I'd say G1 is kind of ruling the roost.
Okay, I mean that makes sense.
So Andy, any thoughts on this before we talk on the next bit of Cyberverse?
I'm more surprised that it's had no lead up. It's just came out of nowhere. That's the thing I'm finding most surprising about it. I don't know what's happened to the marketing on this, but it almost feels like it's probably because it's a Cartoon Network show, and Cartoon Network doesn't fucking care about 90% of its programming.
Except Teen Titans Go.
That's one of the 10%. So yeah, I don't know. I've never been that thrilled about this series. I haven't even finished season 2, and I think since do we know if season 3 is the last one? Because that's how it usually goes with Transformers.
We don't know. It's the longest, but we don't know whether or not they're setting up for season 4.
Oh yeah, three seasons is usually the longest. Yeah, because this isn't the longest Transformers series. Which I thought that's what you meant for a few seconds. Yeah. The never-ending Rescue Bot series.
People say, like, well, the original series of Rescue Bots was the longest, and I'm just like, it hasn't fucking ended.
No.
They just recast everyone.
Yeah, no, because it's Rescue Bots Academy now, isn't it? Or something like that.
The same fucking show.
Is it? Oh, I'll take your word for it. I'll probably, again, sit down to watch season 2 at some point, but I have a suspicion I'm not going to be amazed by it, but I'll probably think it's fine. And I mean, do you want to? You can talk about the trailer now if you like, since we saw that, or the new design. No. Is it the new designs you want to talk about?
I'll do the toys because it all spins off of that.
Okay.
Because everything that's in the trailer is in the toys. Now these are not the deluxes. These are official review deluxes. One of these characters is getting the deluxe, which I'm interested in. Having now got an idea what his design looks like, I'm actually really interested in that deluxe.
Yes.
Because I think, considering the deluxes have so far looked really, really good, him, Grimlock, and a couple of other ones are ones I really want to try picking up. But these are the gimmick-lined toys, and also some new designs are in here. So also, like, it looks like they're going to be sort of spacing up the alt modes a little bit.
A little bit.
Going by the trailer, like, basically Bumblebee can now fly. But so we've got an action gimmick toy where Bumblebee has sort of a spinning arm and transforms into a brick with a windscreen. Like
the idea of him almost turning into what I would think of like a gangster space pop car. Pump car.
Just expect the gangsters from Futurama to come out.
Yeah, like I'm expecting like aliens, but with like pimp hats and pimp canes and stuff like that to come out. Like it's real. I don't know what kind of design it's not cyberpunk. Well, yeah, almost a cyberpunky pimp design. Yeah. It's not terrible, but it's almost like they haven't gone far enough with it.
Next up, we have the toy and character model for an Autobot shark called Hammerbite. Who I will admit I like his gimmick, which is basically his shark head flips up and bites his own robot head.
Yeah, gets a shark hat head.
Yeah, but also Autobot shark.
Hammerhead
with
shark.
Skybite. Hammerbite and Skybite in the same show.
Does that mean we could get a tiger bite? I'm trying to think of
that
like
would be cool.
Whale bite. I'm trying to think of all of the shark types.
What do you think? Sandbite. What do you think of Hammerbite's design?
Are we talking robot mode or shark
character
mode?
model? Character model. We'll go with character model.
Character model. Okay. Apart from it being small in terms of the actual image, because it's not great, big blown up one. It's okay. It's a lot of blues, which I guess makes sense. But it might be nice to have a bit more color to make him for the highlights. I think might have been a bit nice. I like the lower jaw forming, kind of almost like a necklace around his chest. I think that's quite nice. Do we know why he has a crown? Not a clue. It does sort of stand out a bit. Massively, because it looks like it's not like part of his design, but it's like something that he's wearing, like Starscream's crown for instance.
Mm.
So maybe he's the king of the sharks.
He's Shark King.
Yeah.
King Shark. Like, it can't be King Shark. That's a DC thing. But I like how the hammerhead eyes sort of form shoulder pylons.
Yeah, that's quite nice. I think that maybe not an issue with it, but that is like those wings being on top of the shoulders is something you see. I feel I've seen quite a bit on other plane designs, but I think what helps is he's also got the fins on his arms and then the fins on his legs, so he's almost got this kind of fin motif going all the way down from each body part, which is okay.
Yeah.
It doesn't wow me in general, but it's not too bad. Maybe a different color scheme would have made it, like I say, pop a bit more for me.
What do you think of the toy?
It's a gimmick toy, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
He
does look more articulated than most of the gimmick toys.
True, but he still looks a bit on the cheap side in my eyes. I do like the shark head gimmick. I think that's great. He doesn't have a real head in my eyes. That his real head is the shark head. If you disagree, you're wrong. You're wrong, because I think the giant hammerhead head. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, looks better. Though I think the actual shark mode is once again a bit on the kind of side.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The next character up is a character design for Iaconus. We really need to stop calling things that, guys.
Yeah.
Who I'm assuming is someone like heavy and monumental, and is a chunky monkey.
What if he's really small? Like child-sized.
He's a mini con.
Yes, but he's so big. He's like really heavy.
Yeah. I'm not crazy about his design. What we can see of it, he suffers a bit more than Hammerbite for the size of the picture, I think. But it's a bit generic.
I was thinking that as well. Yeah, definitely that. Do we know what he turns into? Because I don't see another picture of him.
No, he's in the trailer having a fight with someone, and that's it.
Okay. Yeah, he's just robot.
Yeah, he's basically just robot. Next up is a Megatron gimmick toy, which has a flailing mace, which I feel like we've seen before. And also basically turns into the War for Cybertron tank all of a sudden, a really crappy version.
Oh, it's terrible.
I'm just gonna wait until I see what the deluxe looks like.
Which deluxe? Do you mean the actual deluxe, or do you mean this version of the deluxe, which will be barely any different?
You go to hell. You go to hell and you die, Andy. You're complicating my life.
I am.
Next up is Meteor Fire, who looks like he's escaped from Transformers Cybertron.
Yeah. Those colors do have a Cybertron vibe to him. I'll give you that.
I ain't crazy about his design.
No, it's okay. Maybe a better picture might help as well.
Yeah, it kind of just says like, I have seen a Brave cartoon. Like he's not wowing me.
No.
Next up is a Cybertronian mode, and I say that in inverted commas. Optimus Prime, whose gimmick is he has a hatchet which is always out, and his arm swings.
Ooh. Have you seen his little face?
Yeah, he looks so like.
His lips are right under his nose, and his nose is right up to the top of his face. Everything's been squished to give him the appearance of having a big chin. He's got this teeny tiny little face. It's like if you got an anime character and got all of their features and just kind of smushed them together and pushed them up to the top of the forehead.
Yeah.
Looks weird and freaky.
Yeah. Next up is Screamer, whose gimmick is his null race flip forward.
Why is that a gimmick?
I don't know. Like, the base figure looks fairly uncompromised because the gimmick is going from like a figure who's had the most intrusive gimmick to having one of the less intrusive gimmicks. He does. I'm assuming this is warrior class, and he does probably look like the best of the bunch.
I guess. I think it's almost interesting.
Yeah, no, I like that.
Actually, I want to rephrase that. I think it looks like an interesting shape. I have a feeling when you look at it from different angles, apart from this one angle, it's gonna. I mean, you can see his feet literally poking out, so I think it's easy to assume that below his knees don't actually do anything for transformation, which is gonna look really wonky. Yeah, it's a shame because that's a nice design. That's almost like an R-type. You know, those kind of scrolling pew 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 kind of games. Makes me think of one of those ships, and that's not a bad idea for a spaceship Starscream or Transformer in general.
No, I again, if they do a deluxe of this figure, which easy remold, but
sure.
Hopefully we'll see it out there. Next up this is the guy who is confirmed to be getting a deluxe figure, and is the guy I'm most interested in now. Thunderhowl, who is an Autobot wolf. Wolf Samurai Knight would be how I'd describe him.
Yeah, that's fair.
The gimmick toy doesn't look a lot like the character model, it has to be said, but
yeah, do we know why he has a vastly different color scheme?
Presumably it's one of those things where one was designed first.
Or maybe it's a powered up mode?
Maybe. But he's got like a shield, a sword, and he's got a gimmick with looks like a firing laser thing from the wolf mount. But I really dig that robot mode.
Yeah.
I really did. I love the cape. I want to see what this deluxe is like so badly.
Yeah, it's pretty solid. It looks, even for like the usually pretty crappy gimmick toy line, it doesn't look terrible. It still looks cheap, but it doesn't look it doesn't look nearly as bad as, say, the Optimus and the Starscream. And the actual model, again, it'd be nice if we got a close up of it, but it has the vibes of RID. Oh god, what was his name, Mikey? The wolf car.
Steeljaw.
Him, yeah. It has a bit of his vibes, but maybe that's just the wolf motif in general, I suppose.
We never got decent toys of so many of them.
Yeah, no, we just got the crappy ones for the most part.
It wasn't a good show, but those were some good designs.
Some of them were, yeah. I would agree there.
And the last one, we don't have to see a toy for him, but it appears, I'm judging this on head design, it appears to be a Junkion Desperado named Wild Wheel.
Tequila Gundam.
Yes!
It's Tequila Gundam.
Oh, now I need a toy of this.
If someone says this isn't slightly based off of Tequila Gundam, I'd say you're a dirty liar. You're a dirty liar.
Googling Tequila Gundam right now.
That's right. So where's Windmill Gundam? Transformers Bumblebee team.
Yes. He needs to go around randomly calling people F.A.
Neo Mexico.
I mean, he needs to be one of the Jointron brothers.
Oh, yes, I'd be okay with that.
Like, uncomfortably Mexican would be how I describe those three. So, oh man, oh god damn it, Andy.
Yeah.
Oh dear. Also, I didn't know Tequila Gundam showed up in Build Fighters.
Yeah, it's really disappointing.
Oh.
But then again, that's just my general feel of Build Divers. It's just pretty shit. So I saw Tequila Gundam and was like, so this means we'll get we'll actually get a figure of this guy, right? Bandai? It's 2020.
Bandai. We know you can hear us.
It's just doing more Gundam Seed stuff again. It's like,
we don't care. Tequila's all around.
They love fucking Seed, unfortunately. That annoys me so much.
Oh dear.
I will say as well, I heard rumblings, but I think these are just speculations. People said that wouldn't it be nice? Oh, because I don't think they had any proof to back this up. I think it was more, wouldn't it be nice if that Cybertron Megatron was done into a Bumblebee Cyberverse Tarn? And I was like, that's not gonna happen.
It would. I mean, it's doable, but do you really want a crappy gimmicky Tarn? Mm-hmm. Like what people are saying there, he turns into a tank and it's a double cannon. It's a double barrel cannon.
It was definitely the double barrel cannon. I think people saw and they got all excited, and I was like, man, that's such a disappointment. Like I didn't get to say, but man, that's a fucking disappointing Megatron. In robot mode, it looks fucking identical to every other Megatron you've seen. At least Prime looks a little bit different.
It's got red on it.
Yeah, well, pink maybe. Like salmon pink in places. It's bad.
Yeah.
It's really like so boring, unfortunately. At least turn him into a jet. I mean, it's the most fucking generic thing people do with Megatrons these days. He's either a tank or he's a jet. But at least he would be something a bit different.
Yeah, I will. There was one other bit of Cyberverse toy news I'll throw into this. Over in Australia, we've had a leak of half of Wave 2 of the Deluxes at the Toy World in Melbourne. shared by a Facebook user named Tyson Wade Richards. Fantastic name. We saw Hot Rod, the worst character in the entire show, who looks like a better deluxe figure of Hot Rod than we've had in any other line, to be completely honest.
Yeah, kind of.
Hot Rod's had some real sucky toys.
Did we talk about this last week? Because I know
No.
Okay, because I'll quickly throw in that I will 100% agree. This looks like a maybe one of the better Hot Rod toys we've had in a while. But I feel he needed more color on his like torso. Like he needed a bit. His chest is fine, but like his tummy and waist area is just red, and like his shoulders are just. There's almost too much solid red. There's not enough yellow to break it up.
I would blame that on the design because
that's not the toy's fault. That's the general thing.
He also comes with flame effects parts, which
that's a good idea. Yeah.
The big thing about this though is that Grimlock is out there.
Who?
The shut up. These are both under the Bumblebee Cyberverse Adventures line marketing, and he's got the right face. He doesn't have the faceplate. Because Gentleman Grimlock doesn't have a faceplate. He can have one, but he doesn't use it.
Did they? You're right. Yeah, because is this the first time we've had him without the faceplate?
Really? I think there might be one of the really, really small gimmicky toys, but every other one has a really G1 face, and that's fine. And I still do want to pick up that Ultra, for the last Ultra figure, which turned out to be actually halfway decent. Yeah. But this Grimlock is one of the best things about this show. I absolutely love him, and in robot mode, he's got to have the charming "I'm so suave" face. It's his whole shtick.
It is, yeah.
Also, the figure, just like we don't get a clear image of it, but going by the box art, that looks like a solid little deluxe. It's got ankle tilts, Andy. Ankle tilts.
Yeah. It's surprising. It doesn't look terrible. I'm not 100% sure on the T-Rex mode again because the image is it's not the best image of the T-Rex. But what's going on with his head? Is it?
He has a crown at one point in the show.
Yeah, that's what I thought it was trying to emulate.
Yeah, and he's got the flame effects part.
That's good.
Yeah, in season 1, there's a crown that boosted his intelligence when he was in dinosaur mode.
That's right. That was when he was king of the prehistoric past or something.
Yeah, where he would just hang out with dinosaurs, heroically trying to protect them from meteorites.
Yeah.
Because he's just that kind of dude. Also completely destroying the Transformers timeline and for me in any tension of this war was going on for 65 million years. Really? How shit are you at resolution?
That's a break.
But no, I want this. Yeah, I want this. No sign of Thunderhowl or RC, but presumably they're going to be out there somewhere. If these two showed up, they must have been in the same box.
Actually, do we know that for sure? Because it might be one of those stupid things where Wave 2 case might only be 2 figures.
Oh, that would be dumb.
I wouldn't be shocked, and there's no guarantee that that's the thing, but the fact that there was no shots of the other two makes me think that maybe it's like that, or maybe there'll be a slight delay. I could easily be wrong. And like next week, or by the time this bloody show goes out, here's the other two, and we go, oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'm an idiot.
But yeah, that's it for the Cyberverse, I think.
There's a few other Cyberverse stuff.
Oh yeah, RacknRuin is in the UK.
Yeah.
He's kind of like Grimlock, and it looks like they made an Ultra Class figure where they just said, let's make a halfway decent figure as well, although he is definitely gimmick heavy. I'm kind of letting it go because it's RacknRuin, and that face sculpt is amazing.
Yeah, the faces are nice. I just don't understand the love for RacknRuin because I don't think he has a very interesting design.
Oh no, he doesn't, but it's just so weird.
Yeah, but here's the thing, like, I think Sticks and Stones have a better design than this.
Yeah, but Andy, those are GoBots.
No, they're not GoBots. They're worse. They're Rocklords.
Andy.
They turn into stones.
That's probably why, because they just roll up into a ball. Although RacknRuin never turned into anything before now, so technically they had him beat for years. And listen,
people say like, "Oh, rocks aren't cool." It's like, what did monkeys use to beat each other over the head with back in the day?
I think if Nugget had been there, like, it'd be a different story because he has the eyes of a killer.
That's true. That is true. But he seems to turn into a what vehicle?
Roadbuster?
What do you call that? I guess I don't know what vehicle that is. It's okay.
Turned into Roadbuster.
Kind of
describing this.
Yeah, G1 Roadbuster.
A forklift Jeep tank.
Yeah, I like it. Almost looks like a vehicle that should be really, really big. Like really big, because he's got this cockpit, which I would imagine people go inside of. But I don't think that's the case.
Also, oh no, this was in a Forbidden Planet. I'm sorry if you bought this.
Don't worry, Mikey. It was in a Forbidden Planet. Nobody bought it.
The amount of times I've gone into Forbidden Planet, usually to try and find comics, and gone into their toy section and gone like, what do you expect? I can ship this cheaper than this.
Yeah.
You're fools. You're fools all.
Yeah. That's still a thing after all these years.
Andy, take us on to some other news.
Okay, Mikey, you were talking about seeing RC for the Cyberverse. Well, how about information on Transformers War for Cybertron, or Fall of Cybertron, or the Earthrise stuff, that one.
Yeah.
RC from that line and the Quintesson Allicon. We have listings on Amazon UK, apparently, which is a surprise it's not on the American site. But here's the info we have on the Allicon, which is the WFC E19. It's going to be 14 inches. It's an action figure, unsurprisingly.
14 centimeters. 14 inches might be a wee bit big.
You don't know. They're the same thing.
This is a foot tall Allicon.
That'd be a pretty impressive toy.
I'd buy
Discover Earthrise.
No.
The siege is over. What siege?
Well, there was a siege.
Was there?
It was a toy line.
It was a toy line. It was a toy
It's
line.
over now.
But Mikey, the war for Cybertron has just begun.
Followed by the Autobot and Decepticons left Cybertron.
Yep. So it's on Earth now. Autobots and Decepticons left Cybertron. Oh yeah, they did mention it. But the battle breaks. Battle breaks as they travel space at. I thought it said minimum speed. That'd be great. Looking
Autobots
for
are
the
going
Oscar.
as slowly as possible because they're not really in a rush to be there first.
We'll fix Cybertron someday. Whatever.
Listen, we want to arrive, but we need to be fashionable about this.
We need to drive safe, or I'll turn this ship around.
I don't want to seem desperate here.
We'll have a Megatron slate. We'll have an orderly boarding party. No shenanigans, no roughhousing until we get there. Oh dear.
Astrotrain, you drive slowly, you follow the rules.
Yes. Almost like you're on a track, but in space. That's stupid. You're stupid.
Oh my god, no. Oh god, now oh, what if he was just in space as his, like,
train
mode?
Why aren't we going any
Put a
faster?
little track
I don't
in
know.
front of him.
Would the track be slowly built? Like someone runs back, grabs the back end track, and then puts it forward?
It's like the Denliner.
Oh, okay, no, yeah.
Like, wherever he goes, there's just a train track.
I'd be okay with that. It doesn't need to be explained, just does. Build the next battlefield.
Decepticon owner.
Earthrise collectible characters allow fans to battle epic spatial battle scenes with characters that become a modular battle station and join together to expand the battlefield, each sold separately, subject to availability.
The English in this is atrocious, and
It's
what's
not
worse,
great.
I think it was written by someone in English.
Maybe. Earth mode G1 and weapons.
What?
Earth mode G1 and weapons.
Earth mode G1 and weapons? Also, Allicon with an Earth mode would make people very angry.
Yeah, oh yeah, they would actually. Yeah. So it says Quintesson Allicon character turns into animal mode in 14 steps and comes with a lance as an accessory. Not as like a bit of food or something. I mean, good job. Thoughtful revelation. Each pack includes a piece of of the Transformers universe map. And
why does that start like a fortune cookie?
and a red decoder to unlock hidden map paths. Collect the other Earthrise characters to combine the pieces of the entire map together, each sold separately, subject to availability.
What? How big are what?
Does that mean every character is going to have a different map, or are some of them going to overlap and some of them be the same?
No, I've seen a couple of reviews of Earthrise figures now. I did not see anyone talking about a map.
Maybe because they aren't real fans, Mikey. Maybe that's the reason. I think that's all the same for RC. So Earth mode G1 and weapons for RC. The RC toy converts into classic G1 sports car mode in 15 steps and comes with a blaster as an accessory. Part of the character's backpack can be removed for a more stylish look and used as a hoverboard. Oh, that's okay. That's fine. That's better than just using it as a big shield. I'm more okay with that.
I look forward to everyone telling me this is better than the masterpiece.
Well, it might be.
I know, but do you deny we will hear it regardless?
I mean, there will be people on the internet who talk, and you'll tell me about it, and I'll roll my eyes. Whether it's related to this or something else, it's gonna happen. So there's not a huge amount of information here. Little bits. I do think the surfboard thing is a nice idea. Like I say, I think it's much better and more creative to a point than just having her backpack turn into a shield, which we've seen. Who did it? It was the Generations toy. Well, it wasn't the Generations toy. It was the KO upscale versions of that figure that did that, which wasn't terrible. But I don't know. Like RC, like G1 RC to me doesn't come across as a rocking surfer chick. Not saying she can't be, but I'm just thinking back to that character.
Oh my god.
It's weird, isn't it? It doesn't feel right.
1990s Sweet Valley High Valley girl RC.
Whoa, tubular.
Yeah.
Like,
oh no!
stop
Even
better.
She's got to talk like that.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
The surfer boy voice.
Yep.
And
the stereotypical one where you heard it in all the 90s cartoons.
Yep. And she's got to come up to you like really weirdly feminine, like she's like flipping her hair and like hiding her eyes, and then she opens her mouth and that comes out. Oh my god! Yes, you've made it great.
Would she do the Baywatch run?
Yes.
Some people stand
oh my. No, I would see that, but I'd want to have like Mega Empress and the gals there as well.
Oh, mate!
Because they would genuinely do the Baywatch run. But it would be like in slow motion, and if you just looked ahead, it would be like Soundwave, Megatron, and Starscream running faster ahead of them, desperately trying to speed up.
Beachcomber as Hasselhoff.
Oh man, yeah. No, is there a stoner character in Baywatch?
No, maybe. He's the one I could think of most. Valley, but that was made because of the drug reference. Or you could have maybe Sea Spray and have Sea Spray do something.
Thunderblast as Pamela Anderson.
Yeah. Oh man, it won't be this. We've disappointed ourselves, I'm afraid.
Yeah, we have something beautiful in our heads. It would have been amazing.
Damn us, our creative juices.
The only episode of Baywatch I really remember is one where they think they're being chased by a shark, but it turns out to be a crocodile.
What, in the sea?
Yes, a saltwater crocodile from Australia.
Hang on. Wasn't Baywatch in California?
Yes.
How?
I don't know.
Was that ever explained in the episode, or have you forgotten that
Not
part?
really. I saw it not long ago. And because I remembered it, I go like, I have to see that again. And it's just like, there's it. It's kind of like how DSV once had that episode with a giant prehistoric crocodile, Sequest. I remember that very well. Sequest got weird. But then Sequest also started weird, but...
Yeah, it seems more appropriate for Sequest.
There was some, like, fantastically odd sci-fi in the 90s.
Oh,
Just as people were discovering CGI and going like, well, what could we do? I don't know, get Sam Raimi. Get someone Sam Raimi related. Oh, dear. I think a lot of the people who did Sequest went on to do Stargate.
Really? Oh.
I think there's some crossover there.
No, well, fair enough. I'll take the last bit of news because it's a quickie. We have another guest announced for TFCon Orlando, which is on the 20th of March to the 22nd of March, and it's Mr. Dimooch. It's Josh Perez. Yes, he's a pretty boy. Give him kisses and hugs and give him bumblebees. Yes,
and say the word Disney and just watch him start sweating.
But he lives there, so he shouldn't sweat too much. You know.
Actually, yeah, like, he's not... This is less he's going to a con and he's just, like, going out to do some shopping.
Yeah, like, I'm not sure, like, how far away he is from, like, Orlando.
Well, he used to work in Disneyland, didn't he?
Yeah, but he might have moved.
No, he didn't. No one moves.
No one moves in Florida.
Have you seen Florida? Ireland's fucking bigger.
I don't know if that's true.
Certainly a wider.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know the
Like,
the
I saw someone say
geography.
they drove from one side to the other in a couple of hours. You can't do that in Ireland.
No, but I mean, it's thin, but it's long. It's like a dangly poo in that shape. So
America's dangly poo.
yeah, because it does kind of just hang off the edge. So yeah,
Oh.
no, like it's thin. Like I can drive from mine to Gruff's, and that's basically on the other side of the country, and that only takes about hour and a half or a bit less. So yeah, I could believe it doesn't take that long to drive across Florida. But anyway, that's our news for this week, everybody. I don't think there's out else. So Mikey, what you been up to this week? What you done for fun, son?
I got a package on the way to me. I got a notification for that today, which really surprised me because I'd forgotten I ordered it.
Oh no.
Which is something from Boss Fight Studios. One of their Kickstarters from like 2 years ago.
Oh
Which
god.
I'd completely forgotten I went in on. But apparently that's coming now. So
What is it?
It is a horse.
Oh, of course.
Yeah, because they did a Kickstarter there for their horse unicorn, and there was like an elk version.
Okay.
I think I went with the black unicorn because I also got the add-on kit to turn it into like a demon horse.
Oh, so what size are these horses? Like, what kind of figure scale do they go with?
They're made for 6-inch figures.
Oh, so they're pretty big then.
Yeah, they're decent size. They're gonna be like,
Oh, wow.
put your figure arts on them or something like that.
Yeah, okay. What made you want to go for some horses? Do you remember? I mean, it was 2 years ago, but...
Yeah, I really, like, at the time, and I still feel this way, I like the idea of articulated animal figures. They're rare enough.
What horses?
Anything, really. Like, Transformers is kind of one of the only places to get them. So, like, they're the guy doing... There's a Kyoto Tyrannosaurus that I'd really like to pick up, even though it doesn't look fantastic, but it's got decent articulation. I'd like to get the Amber Collection dinosaurs from Jurassic Park, because, again, they're articulated.
Do you think they'll be better than the last kind of posable dinosaurs you ordered? The that Kickstarter, I can't remember.
Yeah, well,
what
that
the studio
Kickstarter
was.
one, it didn't really it didn't really hit either of its goals, which would be the incredibly accurate and incredibly posable. It was decently accurate and decently posable, and unfortunately not really able to take advantage of at least half of those qualities.
Okay.
Like good looking figures, but yeah, and then I got really I didn't go in for the Ceratopsian one because I really don't like the color schemes on those. And I said that to the creator, and I did not get a very friendly response.
Oh.
Because I just basically, he was like looking for colors, and he put up like, here's all these really brightly colored lizards, and I'm going for realistic color schemes. And I was just like, and he said, oh, I'm taking feedback. And I said, I'm probably more qualified than most to say. So I basically
Did you actually say that?
Well, no, I didn't say like, I'm qualified, listen to me. And I sent back feedback saying like, it's very unlikely that major prey species are going to be this color. If you're looking for color schemes to base it off of, you're probably better off looking like at things like antelope and buffalo.
Oh, you well actually, Tim, didn't you? As you pushed your glasses up your nose. Oh no.
No, he said like, if there's any criticisms, please send them in.
That doesn't always mean people want criticisms,
no,
though.
His response was, I'm sorry, but these are reptiles, and I assume you don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, fuck you, Mikey!
Also,
you
the
little
guy,
bitch!
Like, I had a bad experience with him with some of the actual shipping for the Raptor series. So,
oh, really?
Yeah, I don't want to get into it, but the guy doesn't really come across as the nicest man in the world.
Ah, that's a bummer.
He pulled a little bit of a ripoff, in my opinion. But
oh wow.
Boss Fight Studios, like their stuff is like, this is what you're paying, this is your shipping, nothing will change. Here it comes. There you go. Talk to you later.
Yep.
But they're like their old hats at this, aren't they?
Yeah.
So hopefully that will be here in the next week or so. And I'm like, it looked very good. I'm hoping it translates well, and I'm getting a demon unicorn thing, so I'm happy. I like monsters. Because they did the Gorgon I had, who was a not perfect figure, but she was very fun.
Okay.
TV wise, I saw Kamen Rider 01 episode 23, which followed up on the introduction of Metal Cluster Hopper, which is the Berserker form. This was a fun episode. It's a weird kind of it's a Valentine's Day episode, which is kind of just sort of inserted into the middle of this whole arc they're doing about the not quite a tournament,
right.
So it's basically a character from the last episode suddenly shows up and says, I want to get married! And they get a matchmaker Humagear that she decides she wants to marry to Humagear.
Okay.
And he's like, I am a robot. I don't really want to marry you. And there's a really, really funny bit with a lot of censors, which implying that the robot is swearing a lot. But it's fun. And there's also a funny bit where like Bowser shows up to a matchmaking session, which is just like, I don't see you going to one of these. And he's just going like, I am eternally 22 from the back of the room. He's 45. I'm assuming that is going to be explained because he then followed up by saying, I will be eternally 22. Are you a robot too? Is that what this is? But there's a couple of action scenes, like basically Metal Cluster Hopper. We basically figure out why the bad guy introduced a form so much stronger than he is, which is it's blocked out all the other forms. He can't use any other form, and Cluster is extremely dangerous and really does not give a shit about killing people.
Okay.
Got some real good fight scenes in this one. Really taking advantage of the special effects for the suit with the swarm. And like, there's a cool thing, like the more that swarm off him, the more stripped down his base suit gets. Which is really, really cool how it's done. There's a bit where he's punching Valkyrie in the face, which is weirdly enjoyable. Just because I really, not because I like seeing Valkyrie punched in the face, but I like the framing of the shot and real good music with it.
Why do you hate women, Mikey?
I don't. I just wish she had an upgrade form by yet. Why doesn't she have an upgrade form yet?
Mikey.
Then again, she's lasted 23 episodes in a Kamen Rider show as a writer.
Yeah. No, it's better than most. I was gonna say, like, we know why she hasn't had an upgrade form.
Like,
we know why.
But she got a form change, so I suppose we should be like...
Did she get one? She got Hornet. Has she had any other ones?
Lightning Hornet's her only one, and it's like, that is... they basically introduced it as just a form change, but ever since then, they've just become like, actually, it's an upgrade form.
Okay.
And it's like, is it? Is it though?
It is now.
Because the wolf is on his like mid-season I'm super armored killer wolf form, and like the grasshopper has gone through 3 upgrade forms since.
Okay.
But yeah, like I'm liking this. I'm liking the fact it feels like Bowser has a plan. I don't think he's thought it true enough.
I keep thinking you're saying Bowser. I know you're saying Thouser, but it does sound like Bowser.
I'm also not saying trousers, but...
Yes, if you said trousers, people would know what you were talking about.
Trousers.
People would know.
No, I'm enjoying this show. I'm looking forward to the resolution of this arc, and Metal Cluster looks gorgeous. It's the best design form in the show.
Is that the silver one I've seen pictures of?
Yeah, I think it turned out real well.
It doesn't look too bad. It looks quite nice.
Yeah, I still really would recommend people get into this show. One thing I realized, though, is that the secondaries narratively don't have a huge role.
Oh, okay.
Like, Bowser has a role at the moment because he's the main villain, but like Vulcan and Valkyrie, they don't do a huge amount.
They've kind of been sidelined at this point.
A little bit, but like not in a way that feels like the characters are sidelined. Just like they just don't have a role at the moment.
Right.
So I don't think that's like that. Like it's not the feeling like where it happened in Geo. I'm just like, and your arc is done, and no one will ever talk about you again. Which it didn't. I just feel like, and we're doing this now, and you two will come back when it's more relevant. Watched episode, 5 of Set in Academy?
Yes, I think, that's right. Let's have a quick check.
Which
introduces,
5, introduces a new opening.
No, 6. It was 6.
Oh, God. 6, new opening.
Mm-hmm.
Which I thought
updated.
It was quite nice that they did that.
Yeah, a little update. I think they're going to keep doing this. Like, it's nice because we don't know who else is going to join the cooking team.
Yeah. And they introduced Meme, a masochistic panda.
What a fucking bitch.
They do justify it in a sense.
They do. Like, it's not entirely untrue. Like, a panda would be incredibly spoiled because they are fucking spoiled. Though, she's not acting like a panda. Well, no, actually, she kind of is. I'm trying. Like, pandas do like annoy everybody around them as they like hold on to the legs. Like, you must have seen like the people working in the Chinese zoos, and they're just trying to clean the pens, and the bears are just like getting into the baskets full of leaves and throwing the leaves out, and then climbing on them, and then just being like, "Oh, please stop touching me, panda, go away."
And the pandas are very much looking at them like, "What?"
Yeah, they're like, play with me! Play with me!
Yeah, there's a fair bit of that in this.
Yes. Yeah.
I also like that the cat is the one who's just like, you bitch.
Yeah. She acts the most like a cat in this.
Yeah. Including leaving food, which is one of the mole rats.
Yes.
Who's just... the poor little thing.
Do we assume that was, what's it?
Molio.
Molio, yeah. Do we assume
Yes.
that had to be Molio?
I think everything bad happens to Molio. But no, it was a real fun episode. I enjoyed the bit where it's just like Panda saying meh, and he's carrying on. He's just like meh, meh. And also, when koalas are scared, they make a horrifying screaming sound. She picks up a cooker and goes to smash her with it. And like Mewby's next to her, and I think she passed out.
Oh, she died. Yeah, she died there.
But no, I really enjoyed that one.
I think this is like the last episode, last week's episode, we were kind of a bit cold on because it was just okay. It wasn't amazing. It was too much of Sports Day, which usually gets a bit more boring in animes. This picked up back to the level, maybe a bit more than where we were usually. So I was very, very happy with this. And poor King. Poor King.
He's having a hard time.
He just wants to have his her before girlfriend, and now she's been taken away by her senpai, her gazelle senpai.
Oh, bastard gazelle is bastard racist gazelle.
Yeah, he's an asshole. Don't go near predators.
Oh.
You bastards.
And it's just like, you fucking prick. And you're just like putting the arm around the shoulder thinking you're so fucking smooth.
Oh, also, May cuts a lump of King's mane out. And he's like, what the fuck?
so she can disguise herself as a lion.
As a lion, yeah. Which works. It just doesn't work with Jin, who's like, you fucking idiot.
I also liked how she bribed everyone, and for Miyubi, it's whatchamacallem?
Oh, it's a segue?
Segue. And
Yeah.
she's just like, this is the greatest moment of my life.
To be fair, she needed that. She needs that.
Oh, dear, I love the show.
Yeah, this was a really good episode. I really liked it a hell of a lot myself as well.
Mm.
I even broke my rule and
only-
watched it on the Tuesday.
I noticed.
Yeah.
The only other thing I watched a couple of movies. That was the only other
Ooh.
real. No, there's one other thing after that. Did a little bit of gaming, but nothing serious. Just tried Sonic Mania again. Watched Emma with a full stop, which is an adaptation of a Jane Austen movie. Because I like period dramas. Not the best adaptation. Can't really decide if it's a parody or serious.
That's not good.
It's one of those ones that has a strong cast, and the strong bits are because Jane Austen was tended to be a good writer.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
But like the romantic thing, there was zero chemistry.
Oh no.
And like it's weirdly serious, like straightforward, like feels kind of like a 90s adaptation at times. Then it does that like thing where it's like quirky sound effects and whatnot that's more common when people do big screen adaptations of these things these days. There's also some weird scenes, like the main love interest. We see him get undressed by, and there's lots of servants in this that no one pays attention to, which they wouldn't in real life. And we just he strips down completely in front of all his servants and wanders over to the window for no reason. Also one where the main Emma herself, she's standing in front of a fire. Her maid leaves. She's wearing this big dress. She hikes it up, and you get a side view of her ass as she warms it by the fire, and it's just.
Is she squatting and putting her ass in the fire, or is it not?
Yeah.
Oh wow, okay.
Yeah, and it's kind of like, what? This feels out of place. Also, wouldn't she be wearing some sort of long johns or something under that? Because it's 1800s, and no.
Nah, she's a dirty girl, Mikey. She didn't wear none of those long johns. She ain't her mama's daughter no more.
What about for hygiene?
I don't understand.
I also watched. I wouldn't really recommend it. I would say if you watch a period thing, go watch the David Copperfield movie. It's much better. I did also see Sonic the Hedgehog.
How was that? Because I hear that has I think when I heard this,
surprisingly not terrible.
Yeah, I actually heard that from I think someone made a web post and said, "Oh, there's a load of racist comments," and I was like, I don't think that's true. Is that true?
No, I could what?
Yeah,
No.
yes. There were rumors
Like,
going
it's
around
quite,
that
like-
Sonic's really racist for some reason, and I was like, I don't think that's true.
How?
They didn't say; they just said it was. I think
Like,
it was one of those things where
there's
don't go and
mildly
see it.
stereotypical. There's one mildly stereotypical black woman,
Okay,
but the main black woman is also the main, like, she's married to the main character and is perfectly unstereotypical,
okay.
and is kind of like the world's best wife and vet. There's one scene where her sister is in it, and her sister is kind of shouty, I am in a comedy black woman.
Right.
But I'm trying to... Because there's very few characters in this. This crazy Carl. Yeah, no, I'm trying to think, and I really can't think of how anyone would say this is particularly racist.
I think people were lying, to be fair, to try and smear the movie, but who knows?
I think this is a case of, like, I'd rarely jump on that bandwagon, but I think that's what's happening, because, honestly, yeah, worth seeing. Maybe not worth seeing in the cinema, but worth seeing. And boy, did I never expect to say that.
Yeah, I'm kind of interested to see it at the cinema because it's a movie that I thought was just gonna fucking suck. My expectations were they changed the quality of Sonic and people were just gonna say it's good because they did the thing and they made it not look like shit, but the movie itself was still not gonna be very good. But it doesn't sound like that's the case.
Like, some people are saying, like, oh my god, I laughed through so much of it. I didn't. I giggled a few times. But it's... Okay, so basic premise is Sonic as a baby, he's got superpowers, he's raised by an owl, who's an original character, and also really, like, there's other Sonic-type characters in the start, who look like they're from Sonic games, like the redesigned Sonic. She looks like a semi-realistic talking bird, which makes me think she was designed with the original Sonic design and never updated.
Oh no! Does she look creepy?
So she looks like a cartoon. I am a bird, but she doesn't look like like a character from a Sonic game. Like, she doesn't have the solid lines and stuff like that. So it just feels to me like she was designed before the change was done, and they just never saw a point in redesigning. She doesn't look bad. She looks fine.
I imagine she's not in it a lot, right? Oh
no, like half a minute.
Yeah, that's probably why, I guess.
Sonic has to escape some evil peoples who I was very surprised to see in this, I have to admit. As a child, he escapes to Earth using the power of the warp rings, and then he spends the next however many years until he grows into a teenager living on his own in a town called Green Hills. Green Hill, so... where he basically lives on his own, but kind of lives vicariously through everyone around him.
Creepy.
So, like, he watches TV at people's houses, like, through the window, and kind of like
that's
has
really
his favorite.
sad.
Yeah, no, there's also Crazy Carl, who is the only person who knows he's there, and he just like torments the poor man.
Oh no!
There is a moment which was taken from The Simpsons where it's just like, I know you're out there, Blue Devil. And it is, no, I'm not. And yeah, Sonic's plot is that he's incredibly lonely and doesn't have any friends, doesn't have any real relationships, and really, really, really feels it, and is very aware of his own isolation. And the whole thing is he's playing a game. Like, it's in one of the trailers where he's playing the baseball game with himself. And he finishes it and he goes to like slap someone's hand and he realizes there's no one there.
Oh,
and he has
no.
a freak out. He has a freak out and runs so fast that he sends a nuclear pulse that shuts down basically the Midwest.
Oh no!
And
there was sympathy, and then you said that, and it's like, oh no!
And then this moment of just like he does it. There's a good moment like, I'm sure no one noticed that. And then Robotnik gets dragged in. Robotnik is just Jim Carrey in a comedy role, which is something I haven't seen in a long time, to be honest.
No, I hear that he can go a little bit too much. I've heard people say it's not as aggressive as, say, his performance from Batman Forever, but sometimes it dips into that kind of over the top.
Sometimes he gives some better line deliveries though than you'd expect. For some people, again, they like saying, "Oh my god, he's funny throughout." I would not say that. I'd say it's a Jim Carrey movie moment. Like, it's not Ace Ventura funny.
I'm not surprised.
But I think he's having fun with the role, and
that's good.
There's not a huge amount of game references in this, but there are a few. There are two end credit scenes, which are kind of huge.
Like when you say end credit scenes, do they take place right at the end of the credits, or
one at the start and one at the end?
Oh God, I think if I go and see it, I'm not gonna stay to the very end.
The very end one is kind of the one worth seeing.
I already know what that one is.
Okay.
I'd like to see it, but I'm not waiting in a probably empty theater for that. I'm not that big of a Sonic fan.
It is unapologetically a kids movie.
Yeah, that's good. I suppose.
A pretty sincere kids movie.
Okay.
And it needs. That's the thing. A lot of what you're seeing for reviews are people judging it as adults, and you need to judge this as a child's movie. If I was of the target audience, I would think this was a fan-fucking-tastic movie. As it is, I think it's an enjoyable romp that is so much better than I thought it was going to be.
Then it probably should be, because I've heard a lot of people say as well, it's the best video game movie ever, and again, that's when people say that, I go, yeah, that's a very fucking low bar.
And if people go like, well, Mortal Kombat, well,
no.
Mortal Kombat is a movie you enjoy.
Yeah, it's not good.
Not that you say is good, and please don't try and argue that it is.
It's not. I love it, but it's not a good film.
No. If someone says, oh, Turtles 1 is a bad movie, I will fight you on that.
Turtles 1 is not a video game movie?
No, but, then people say, Turtles 3 is a good movie about cartoons, and I'm just like...
Oh, no. No!
You can enjoy it. If you enjoy it, that's fine.
Yeah.
But it's not
Turtles
good.
3 is not good. Though I would laugh if someone said Assassin's Creed was a good film, because then I phone up and say, I'm worried that you might have brain damage and you need to be hospitalized now.
But yeah, I would say it's worth a matinee. Go for the £5 one or something like that.
I might give it a try. I was slightly tempted, but now I've heard the Mikey okay. I might give it a crack. I didn't want to see it over the weekend. Yeah. I didn't want to see it with the kids. I was like, no, fuck that noise.
No. See it at a time when there's no people. But yeah, it's made me want to watch the Pikachu movie, to be completely honest, just because I'm curious now to see how they stand up compared to each other.
I'll say this: Pikachu's fine. It's not great, but it's fine. I don't know, obviously, how good it compares to Sonic. From what I remember from the trailers, it doesn't have the funny of Sonic. And you might be creeped out by all the freaky real Pokemons. So that's...
Oh, I really am. I genuinely am. But that's something I'm just going to have to accept one way or the
other. You're going to have the nightmares, I suppose, if you want to see the film.
Oh, God almighty. The only other thing of note was that I watched the opening movie for Final Fantasy VII Remake, which got released. And then I found that the demo got released, or got leaked about a week ago. Which included the opening movie and the first 50 minutes of the game, which is a bombing run. So I watched that because you can't spoil the story for me, and I was curious about the differences.
Sure.
I will admit I started crying watching the opening movie because I had a very I really, really cannot overstate how emotionally involved I am with Final Fantasy VII.
Yeah.
To almost an abusive degree.
Oh wow, that's a really interesting way to phrase it.
So that bit with the new scenes where the flower gets stepped on and then it zooms out from Aerith, and she will always be Aerith for me because I can't say Aerith, I'm Irish.
Yeah.
Was and you got the music coming in. I'm just like, oh, it's fine. You see nothing. But yeah, I was more interested in the gameplay and I want to see what they added in. Gameplay, I think, is really something I'm going to have to play to decide how I feel about it.
You didn't actually play it; you were just watching it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So hopefully the demo will be basically. Apparently, it leaked and then got super taken down super fast.
Lame. Do we know if we're getting a demo?
I think we are, but we'll see. But the gameplay looks really good visually, really good character animations. And the people playing this thing were constantly going into the ATV screen, constantly switching characters. And the game clearly is encouraging you to switch characters. Which I think is really, really good. Because one of things like Tales of, or a few other action RPGs with multiple party characters, you frequently get the feeling you're wasting time switching.
I never bothered.
I did with Tails because I enjoyed taking control, but like Tails gives you 6 to 8 characters, 6 characters that you can switch in at any point, and it's just like what? All right, I'll put you in, but I'm not going to play as you.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just going to stick with the couple I'm good at, or I'll just stick with Velvet if things get bad because Velvet's a fucking monster. But this, it looks like it's saying like, okay, you have to switch to Barret, you have to switch to Cloud. You need someone fast, you need someone who can tank. I'm very curious to see how it actually plays. The writing is interesting because it's so familiar, but there's no line that's identically produced. Lot of extra stuff. The standouts, like a lot of banter between Cloud and Barret. The standout scene is in the elevator where Barret's going on about hearing the voice of the planet. And like, the planet's dying and don't tell me you can't hear it. And Cloud's like, do you really hear that? Yeah, get some help. But he says it's so fast, it feels so natural. And it feels so dismissive. And like really reminded me that their relationship was atrocious when they first met.
Oh, it's not good. Yeah.
And it's really highlighted here. Like, I really like the character dialogue and character interaction. Jessie's great in this as well. She's got a bit of an expanded role. The Final Fantasy VII writing and everything else I am in for now. I want to see how it is. It looks like it's going to play well, and it's going to have a lot of the same stuff and a lot of new stuff. So I'm good. I noticed the people doing it though kind of rushed through. They didn't like stop and have a lot of dialogue options, even though there were like bits where that like an icon would say talk to this character. They were clearly just rushing through to get to the end of the demo.
I hate it when people do that, but I get it. It's not how I would play it, but
no, I would stop and talk to everyone. I always do.
Yeah.
And it's a Final Fantasy, and it's Final Fantasy VII. I want to talk to everyone. I want to talk to Biggs and Wedge and see how they're doing. But yeah, I've got a pre-order in. I'm not ashamed of that. I probably should be, but I'm not. And I really hope if I can get into the combat system, I think this is going to be a hell of a game. Just the writing alone is enough to make, like, the writing, just how they've updated the writing to keep completely the spirit of every single line while making it feel less like, because I adore the writing of Final Fantasy VII, but it feels like an early attempt at translating very Japanese things into English.
Oh, definitely, yeah.
Which is why you have so many translation errors and so many issues, like names or places and things like that. This feels like we are 20 years down the line. We've been doing this kind of stuff for 20 years. This is how we're doing it. Also, perfect lip sync. Thank Christ. Also, I really wonder if Barret ever takes off those sunglasses.
Why would he?
Don't know, but I don't know where they came. Are they a thing in something? Like, I'm pretty familiar with Final Fantasy VII, and I don't remember anything specifically where he's just, like, addicted to sunglasses.
Nah, he's just being cool. He's wearing them at night, too.
Like, when he's looming over Cloud, telling him to pick a fight with him, and he's just like, damn. Also, you get to see Midgar briefly in the day, and it freaked me out.
Why?
Because I've never seen Midgar in the day. It's not natural. Like, oh, it was so weird, and then it was like, oh, God, was this, like, before they built the plates? Oh, dear. But no, like, it's got me interested in the game. More so than I already was. Andy.
Mm-hmm.
What did you do this week?
I saw the intro movie like you, but it didn't do a huge amount for me, mainly because the world's hurt me too much. So I'm kind of dead to a lot of things. I wasn't a big fan of how they re-edited the start point, where it showed... I would have preferred it to have, like, it start with the stars and go from the stars to the live stream with Aerith, however you want to do it, I suppose. I think that's a more interesting look because it gives you the scope of the city quickly instead of like showing you bits of the city and then showing you. I would have maybe liked the other shots of the city to be at a different point in the trailer somewhere. I think for myself. I'm still interested to play it, and I've got a PlayStation 4 now, so I can play it. But I'm not like super invested as clearly you are, just because I feel I know for the most part, like you do, where it's going to go and what it's going to do. So I'm not in that place where I'm like, oh, I need to have it. I'm interested to see what the new bits are. I am concerned how I'm going to feel about how it plays, because, I wasn't the biggest fan of the Tales system, even though I just kind of powered through it. Yeah, I don't know. I'm interested to say. I think the problem is I know it's not going to end, and that's probably my biggest issue with it. It's not a complete game, and it won't be a complete game for years, maybe a decade. Who knows?
Yeah, you were saying before, I'm really hoping they find a way to do this in 3 parts. But
same. Even then, that's going to take 10 years, I would say. Probably.
But just continue, unless they, the reason this has been so delayed is that they've been doing some parallel development. But
I don't know, because it looks like a lot of work into part 1.
Midgar is huge.
Yeah.
So I'm just really, really... I don't know how... Because Midgar is big, but Midgar, if you're quick, is 12 hours.
Yeah.
I can get through it in 12 hours if I'm not doing if I'm not grinding and doing limit break build up. I would not be shocked if this is a 60-hour game.
Oh no, I mean that's kind of what you'd hope and expect, especially because, like you said, it's meant to be 2 Blu-rays or something like that. So you hope it's significant. Otherwise, if it's a 6-hour game, you're like, what?
And
I mean, it's pretty, but what?
Yeah, well, unless it's Final Fantasy 15, which is 20 hours and which is 10 hours too long.
Yeah.
Everyone tells me that's a great game, and I tell them they're fucking nuts.
They're liars.
Mm.
I don't know. I'm not going to buy it day one. I'm going to wait for it and see what the reviews say. And though I have a feeling that all the reviews are just going to be incredibly positive for it, I kind of want to wait and see how it pans out and kind of go from there, I guess. So I did that. It wasn't a big thing, but it's something I did. Did I do? Oh, I finished watching the Overly Cautious Hero anime thing. It weirdly tries to be emotional by the end, and for a comedy series, it didn't fit. By the end, it kind of played it straight like a proper isekai anime, and not like a playing it straight and emotional like Konosuba sometimes does, which is even then still kind of jokey and kind of having fun. It just plays it straight, and it felt really off, as they have some quite dark elements in there for no particular reason. So I finished it, and I just kind of felt it was fine. I didn't think it was great. The comedy's okay, but it's, in my eyes, kind of a mediocre Konosuba, which after Konosuba, most isekai comedy shows are, unfortunately. So I can't. If you want something to watch, it's only 13 episodes or something, and it's done, unless there's a season 2, which it doesn't have to be. So you could give it a watch if you've got nothing else to watch. But yeah, I don't know. I'd say just watch Konosuba instead. What else did I do? I saw my buddy Matt this week, which was fun. We played some badminton. I haven't played badminton since I was in high school, so it was really fun to get back into it. He's a much more healthy, athletic guy than me, but I out of 5 games, I won 3 of them, so I was quite happy. I was like, hey, the skills came back, kind of.
Did you trip him?
No, I didn't trip him at all. I tripped a few times myself because I was kind of running to the other side of the court, and it happened 3 or 4 times. I tried to hit it with a backhand and missed. I misjudged my backhand each time, which I was really annoyed about. But it was a lot of fun. It was we played for an hour, but it went by in an instant, so that was real good. What else? I broke down hundreds of boxes to put in the recycling. That took an incredibly long amount of time. It's not desperately exciting, but there's something quite satisfying folding up cardboard boxes and then standing on them and just feeling the cardboard kind of crumple under your foot. It's quite nice. I don't know why. Did I do anything? Don't you fucking judge me, you judgy left bastard.
I'm not judging.
I heard the laugh. Don't you lie to me. I heard the judge. The big thing, I suppose, I kind of poured most of my time into this week was I finished off Bloodborne, finally. The first playthrough, at least. Oh boy, that was fun. It got real fucking frustrating with the build I went for the DLC boss, the Orphan of Kos. He was a right piece of shit, because my build was pretty much magic, or as it in the game called arcane, and Kos, the Orphan of Kos, has incredibly high defense against Arcane. So I was hitting him like a fucking limp-dick noodle. I was doing like 200 damage to him. And you know what made it worse, Mikey? I watched a guy online who had a really good build and went into the Chalice Dungeons, which is a side thing to get really powerful gems to improve your weapon quality and everything like that. So I was hitting for 200, just over 200, like 238 or something like that. In his video, he hit for 1,000, over 1,000 damage.
Oof.
He was doing 5 times the amount of damage I was, and I was like, oh my god, I feel pathetic. I feel like a child hitting a lion with a twig. It was so I managed to grind up my character a little bit and got slightly better gems to the point where I was doing like 363. Not much more, but eventually I did beat him. But it was not easy. He is like phase 1, I got down. Phase 1 was okay. I was like, okay, I can still die here, but for the most part I've got this. Phase 2 is when he goes batshit crazy. You'll know, Mikey. You'll know. Man, this boy, this little... I looked at him and went, okay, I gotta beat this child and send him back to the goddamn orphanage. Go back to the system, bitch. And I did. Little punk giving me lip. A load of fun, but the worst aspect about Bloodborne is there are 2 things that make it really disappointing. The Chalice Dungeons are where you get some of the most powerful gems to up your weapon damage and everything like that, and it's kind of randomly generated unless you go online and use glyphs, which are people who found them in randomly generated dungeons and go, this is the dungeon, use this code, you'll get the item or the gem from here. So that helps, but I didn't do any of that. The second, because that's, like I say, that's very boring and repetitive. Very repetitive. The most annoying aspect is it doesn't have a respec option. In Dark Souls 2, which is not as good of a game, but was theorized to be produced at the same time or roundabouts the same time by a different team as the people doing Bloodborne, they have it. They have an item where you can respec, and then from Dark Souls 3 you can respec as well. So not being able to respec your character to try out a new build, or if you're like, oh, I want to spec my character for this specific weapon, you can't do it. You need to plan that from the very start. Unless you just go for a quality build, which is, that's fine. It's not the most effective or efficient way to build your character, obviously. So that is a really disappointing aspect that it's not in there as an option. Just because, like I say, if you want to do the special thing, you have to go, oh, well, I got to go all the way and start a new character again, which is fine. But I think it would have been good to have it in there. That took up a real large chunk of the week. I've started another Bloodborne playthrough, because of course I had. And I asked online if people would be interested to see me doing a playthrough, a let's play of it. And I got a few responses saying, why not? And I went, yeah, that's a mild enough reply that makes me go, okay, let's do this. So I've started, I've recorded about 3 worths amount of video footage for an episode. I did the audio recording today for episode 1. I'm gonna get a few episodes like finalized before I actually start farting them out, but I'll be doing a blood tinged build, which is a different kind of route you can go down. For Mikey, who hasn't played, there's 4 kind of stats you can go for different weapons and stuff. You've got strength for heavy weapons, skill for kind of quickie weapons, blood tinge weapons for they're kind of almost like katanas for the most part, and guns. Like it increases your pistol kind of shot for the most part. And then there's Arcane, which is obviously your magic and all that kind of jalopy sauce. So yeah, that should be fun. Hopefully you'll be, those will go up and you'll be able to enjoy them as well if you're interested in watching me play Bloodborne and spouting out some nonsense and woo-woo as I play, because that's what I generally do. And yeah, I think that's about it. I do have Dr. Sleep to watch. And I also have, oh god, what's the other thing I have to watch? Oh, The Colour Out of Space. Because that doesn't seem to be coming to the cinemas here in the UK, or if it does, it's going to very specific theatres, which are not in my region. So I've got a different copy, shall we say, because I wanted to see that film and was annoyed that I couldn't get to a cinema to see it. That's it. Yeah, I think I'm done, Mr. Mikey. Can't think of anything else. We do have a comic show. Do we have a comic show to do this week or next week?
It'll be this week, I think, because I think the new issues are out this week.
Okay, because I know we've got the Valentine's one to talk about.
And 17, and I have an idea for the extended, but I'll see how I feel about that. I'll mention it when we're closer to time.
Oh, all right, okay.
Yeah.
Well, Mr. Mikey, where can people find you on the internet if you want them to?
You can find me on Twitter as Irish Paleo, and if you want to leave us any feedback, guys, there's numerous ways: email, Facebook, Twitter. You've heard it all before.
But you have to say it in case there's new people. It's unlikely there's new people, but
there might be. I mean, someone must be listening. Is anyone out there? Are we real?
No.
Where am I? Am I dead? Is this hell?
Maybe. Maybe.
Hell needs a new paint job. But yeah, there's the moonbase2@gmail.com. There's the Twitter, there's the Facebook, there's the Patreon, there's the Libsyn, there's the Weebly, and there is, I'm sure, some way of sending it via ye olde messenger pigeon.
Yeah, the famous way. Well, you can find me on Twitter as CCTFW, on YouTube as Cobra Commander TFW. You can find this podcast on the Moonbase 2 forums, so on Twitter, iTunes, Facebook, Libsyn, and you can head over to patreon.com/Moonbase2 and do $2 each month, and you get the extended version of From the Files of Teletran 2, which hasn't been decided for this week, or month, I should say. You also get a Moonbase Woo Woo, which Mikey has done and recorded, and I almost deleted today because I'm a silly sausage. And it will be on Digimons. You have no idea how much of a panic and a anal shrinkage I had when I was like, oh my god, did I delete Mikey's podcast? Because he won't have kept that. And I don't, and the Wii transfer won't have kept it either. Oh, I've got it. It's okay. We're fine. Woo.
I've still got it.
Oh, thank God. I appreciate that.
I tend to keep everything these days.
That's wise. I need to craft a fun image for you and the Digimens.
What do I evolve into?
I think I've got an idea of what I can do. We'll see.
Hi, Mikey Man.
No, I've got a different idea. You can also head over to weebly.com the ccbunker.weebly.com if you want to go that way as well. I think that's it. My brain thinks we'll wrap it up here. Thank you, Mikey, for joining me this week. I'm surprised we actually had anything to talk about, but we seem to get a trickle of news, just enough to keep us afloat, which I do appreciate.
Yep.
And until next week, everybody, we will catch you later.